So this was the first of a couple of phone recordings that was released by Miss Zuniga. So let's hear this very disturbing phone call, if you will.
I can't say anymore. I'm probably already in trouble for mentioning it to a, well, we call you normies.
So as we talked about in our last video, Miss Zuniga's identity was exposed via the text messages that was released by the legal team of Shannon Sharpe, Mr. Davis. And you saw the text messages. They were very explicit and kind of direct, if you will. There's some type of relationship they had that was exposed, all right? Well, in response to that, the accuser, Miss Zuniga, released a phone call which does paint Mr. Sharpe in a bad light, okay? So as you can see here from TMZ, Shannon Sharpe, new audio recording, I might choke you in public.
Bitch, ain't no way.
Might what?
Ain't no fucking way.
Yeah, man. So we're gonna play the video real quick and then read the article, right? So this is TMZ and it's probably on their platform on YouTube and other places. So before we get into the recording and listen to it, I gotta get my fair use clause, so I will be pausing in between it. So fair use.
Well, what, Gabby?
Well, you're coming to LA tomorrow?
Yes.
Well, I don't know why you want to go out.
Don't worry about it, Gabby.
Well, okay.
Now, before we continue this audio, there's context missing here. We don't know how the conversation started, how it got to this point, or why he's going to, I believe, Los Angeles, wherever he's going. There's a lot of context missing in here. So we're starting off there in the middle of a conversation. So just to put that out there, again, judge it however you want.
Okay, what?
Well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going.
Yeah. I might choke you in public. Big black guy choke small white woman.
Now, you read the text messages yesterday. You read the text messages. So again, there's context missing here. He could be saying that because that's the type of relationship that they had. Or he could be actually saying this because he actually wants to do this in a malicious way. In my opinion, because we don't know the nature of this conversation, you could judge this either way. Again, you, the viewer, can judge this however you wish.
It's not a good look, Shannon.
Not a good look that you do with the shit you did to me.
Okay, well...
Well, what?
For just $5 a month, please consider becoming a member of Welcome to Normieville. There you will find access to members-only videos and members-only live streams, as well as a host of other perks. Thank you for your consideration. Back to the video. So you saw that, you heard that, right? Of course, at the end he says, I can't believe the crap you did to me. I don't know what the conversation was about exactly, and I'm sure we'll find out in court. So let's read here. Shannon Sharpe's accuser's lawyer has released new audio in which you can hear the ESPN commentator threatening to choke a woman in public. But the Pro Football Hall of Famers team is adamant it's not what it sounds like. Attorney Tony Busby dropped the file Wednesday morning and issued a statement saying Sharpe's attacks on him and his Jane Doe client were a big, stupid mistake. Busby goes on to say the audio provides a fair picture of the relationship shortly before the alleged assault in this case, though he has not said when it was recorded. So like he's saying, some of you might judge it this way in this clip. He's saying that it shows the aggressive nature of Mr. Sharpe, allegedly, before the accusations occurred. So, like I said, you can judge how you want. These are screenshots of the text messages and the times that they were sent. The clip starts off while the two are apparently in the middle of a phone call. Now, be mindful, okay? The clip starts off while the two are apparently in the middle of a phone call with Sharpe's accuser asking the former NFL star if he's coming to Los Angeles, and he confirms he is. All right? The accuser, the accuser, who allegedly 19 at the time she met Sharpe, which they got to put that in there for, in my opinion, that kind of makes it look worse, okay? Then the accuser, who was allegedly 19 at the time she met Sharpe, says she does not know why Sharpe, who was in his mid-50s, so there we go again, would want to go out on the town. Sharpe tells her not to worry, and the conversation soon turns to her getting choked. She tells Sharpe she has no interest in being choked, but Sharpe seems to ignore her. He says, "I might choke you in public." Big black guy chokes small white woman.
Yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch.
All right. Like I said, this doesn't look good for a number of reasons. For one, the age gap, of course, which a lot of people don't agree with. I really don't have a dog in the fight on that one, but I think it's more common than people believe. The other thing is, of course, it's a white woman, a black man. And the other thing is alleged assault. So all that together, this is not a good look for Mr. Sharpe at all. She responds that it's not a good look, prompting Sharpe to accuse her of doing something to him, but it's not clear what it is. The discussion ends with Sharpe asking, "Well, what?" Well, the conversation doesn't end there, but that's where the phone clip ends. I'm sure the conversation continued after that. So Sharpe's legal team insists conversations of this nature were common in their relationship and don't indicate serious threats of violence. They point to a text message which they say was sent by Doe to Sharpe in October 2023 that shows Doe asking Sharpe to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me while you're effing me. Now, we all know now that the identity of this woman is Miss Uninga, but of course they're going to keep saying Jane Doe because that is her name in the lawsuit. So for the sake of, proper reading, we'll keep going with that. A rep for Sharpe added, "This is a very small excerpt with no date or context attached to it. I agree. As you know, Doe filed a lawsuit Sunday claiming Sharpe did that to her in late 2024 and early of 2025. Sharpe said he was planning on suing the accuser for defamation, and his attorney, Lanny J. Davis, held a press conference Tuesday denying his client did anything wrong and released a bunch of text messages claiming they show that she likes and asks for fantasy role-playing and other forms of unusual sexual behavior. Davis also said he believes that messages show a change in her behavior when Sharpe refused to have a child with her. And I would also add, declined to give $25,000 for each cheek.
Bitch, ain't no
All right.
Ain't no fucking way.
Now, if this is true that she wanted a baby and he said no, well, she's getting her child support on the back end, right? Because he wouldn't give her a child. So he said, okay, well, I'm going to go for the big money, which would, I get it. Also, because he refused to pay, they've been together 2 years and he was probably doing some debaucherous things together. And she probably felt like, it's time to pay up. But he didn't. And now she's making his life a living hell. However you want to, spin this, if you think that Shannon Sharpe is capable of doing some very heinous things to a woman, or if you think that this is some kind of, like he said, shakedown because he refused to give her some things that she wanted. I don't know. I'll let you, the viewer, decide that. And well, like I said, it's an uphill battle. And there's another recording out there which we'll talk about in future productions. All right. And with that being said, thank you for attending another episode of Normieville. You know me, I'm just Normie, here to bring you the latest and greatest in sports, news, and entertainment. Let me know what you think about this audio recording and how do you think it makes him look, Mr. Sharpe. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell on your way out of the door, and I'll see you on the next video.